Morning Show. My name is Jon Stewart, and we have started to staple my scripts so that it doesn't fly away. We have an unbelievable show for you tonight. We're back. We've been off for a week. Now we're ready to go. By the way, our guest tonight, former 60 Minutes correspondent Steve Croft, will be joining me later. Why, you ask? To discuss our parent company, Paramount's shameful settlement. That's why it's so wrong. Did they? Son of a bitch. But let's get right into the big news of the weekend. We celebrated our nation's independence with fireworks and drugs hidden in peanut butter to get our dogs through the fireworks. Trazodone. It's like a thunder shirt you wear on the inside. But most notably, this weekend marked the passage of the legislative coup that was Trump's big tax and spending bill. Now, I'm going to let you know, there were some cuts.
The Medicaid cuts alone could total roughly $930 billion, with at least 11.8 million people at risk of losing their health coverage.
It also cuts another $285 billion in food assistance.
An end to clean energy credits from the Biden era.
New caps on the amount that students can borrow in federal loans.
3 million poor people and kids will lose school lunch help.
I think that last one is supposed to read, 3 million poor people and kids will lose school lunch. Help! Just an intonation. It's a lot of painful cuts on a lot of vulnerable populations. But to be fair, at least America will finally make a dent on the deficit.
This mega bill will increase the deficit by $3.4 trillion.
What the f***? Holy shit! What? You somehow managed to severely cut the safety net and expand the deficit. That's impressive. That's one of those, hey man, how did you gain all that weight? Ozempic. That's something that's hard to do. I'm on Ozempic, and now I'm really fat. So even though some of our nation's most vulnerable are taking a pay cut, fear not. Other people are getting a raise.
There's $157 billion in new spending for the military and another $150 billion for immigration and border enforcement.
What? $150 billion for immigration and border enforcement? Are you telling me all this crazy shit that has been happening is broke ICE? Is that what you're saying? What is ICE gonna do when they have real money? Oh, that's nice. They're gonna do the Kanye diamond masks. Classy. But America's military and paramilitary weren't the only winners in this bill.
Changes to the tax code could benefit corporate America and manufacturers.
The bill features roughly $4 trillion in tax cuts, mostly for the wealthiest Americans.
The estate tax becomes permanent and more generous.
The holy grail of this tax plan, the best part of it for businesses, is bonus depreciation. And all the private jet makers have been salivating over this possibility.
I'm not sure that liquid is saliva. But okay, the winners continue to be the winners. Either way, this bill was a big victory for MAGA. and Republicans were turned up.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
I'm sorry. That was the party they had for the Epstein list not being released. I'm kidding. That's not what that was. There was no list. There never was a list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Is it really? The list is on my desk, but then I looked at the list and said, no list. Now, there's a lot of ways that we can walk through this tax and spending bill and how this bill encapsulates a ton of general Washington bullshittery. For instance, political hypocrisy. This bill was 970 pages. They jammed it through with barely any time to read it. How did Republicans feel about that when Democrats did it?
This thing is moving too fast.
People aren't even going to be able to read this bill.
They hope that nobody's going to take the time to read the bill overnight between right now and 8 o'clock in the morning when we're supposed to vote on it.
The determination of the White House and the Democratic majority to shove this down the throat of the American people.
Ooh. When it happens to them, it's shoving it down their throat. It's an outrage. But when it's for Republicans, it's just, come on, America. Relax the glottis, breathe through your nose. It'll all be over soon. And then we'll get brunch. Is it the glottis? I don't know. It was the funniest throat organ I could think of. Another way we can talk about this bill is Democratic fecklessness. They were utterly powerless to stop this turd of a bill, which makes them look terrible. The only thing that could make Democrats look even worse was bragging about the nothing they could do. Schumer tweeted this, "News! I just got the name struck off this bill with a move on the Senate floor." Oh shit, no you didn't. Seriously, tell me you didn't just brag about changing nothing about the bill but its name.
This is not a big, beautiful bill at all. That is why I moved on the floor to strike the title. It is now called The Act.
Are you trying to suck? Is that what this is? That's your move. We worked hard and took out the dumb name of the bill and named the bill after a prestige drama on Hulu. But at least Democrats still have Hakeem Jeffries over in the House. He's a younger leader. And he decided not to answer with words, but with imagery.
Hakeem Jeffries on Instagram. He's got a baseball bat, and he says House Democrats will keep the pressure on Trump's one big ugly bill.
Hakeem Jeffries answered with imagery that sends a clear message to Republicans that Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats are waiting for their moms to pick them up from T-ball. The Democrats may not have made the team, but they're ready to step in if a body is needed. Does anybody understand that intimidating, menacing photos are generally taken from below to make the subject appear larger, not from above to make the subject appear, I don't know, 8 years old? The photo has to be intimidating. Make sure you get the upholstery in my leather love seat. They gotta know I have furniture. Or we could talk about the media's narrative dramatizing the fragility of Trump's ruling coalition and what that fragility could mean.
President Trump's agenda is in trouble.
Big trouble for Trump's beautiful bill.
President Trump's signature legislation on a knife's edge
hangs in the balance, hitting a major roadblock.
The margins are so tight here that anything could throw it into jeopardy.
It will be a nail-biter. There's no question about that.
The dramatic moment, Vice President Vance breaking a tie vote.
Oh, it surprisingly got through. Like every other thing Trump has wanted. From Qatari jet bribes to Epstein file secrecy to extorted media conglomerate protection money. I can't believe ABC paid that. That was so up. I'll let myself out. Sure, I wouldn't want to be ABC. But every time a new Trump's never getting that comes up, the media is blown away when he actually does get it, without ever acknowledging that the no votes from Republicans are scripted to allow certain senators plausible deniability without putting any part of that agenda actually at risk. It reminds me of the way every professional wrestling match gets the announcer slack-jawed with shock at the stunning turn of events.
If Jon Stewart showed up here tonight, I would force him to retire immediately because it is quite difficult to do a phony news show with your jaw wired shut.
Uh-oh, no way. Yes
That's
way.
Jon Stewart. He did show.
Look at old Tubbs. What a surprise! I can't believe he showed up there like we rehearsed. It should have been clear that this bill, like everything else, was going to pass on the day they said it was going to pass, that the no's for the bill were for show, like Senator Josh Hawley's deep concerns.
This is real Medicaid benefit cuts. I can't support that. No Republican should support that. We're the party of the working class, Mono. We need to act like it.
You need to act like it. Did you act like it, Josh? Did you?
Hawley ended up voting for the bill. He put in a statement, quote, "I will continue to do everything in my power to reverse future cuts to Medicaid."
Oh, yes, future cuts. Everything in my power for future cuts, except voting no in the present. Or how about Senator Ron Johnson? You've got deficit concerns for the children.
I'm concerned about my children and my grandchildren and the fact that we are stealing from them. We are stealing from our children and grandchildren. $37 trillion in debt, and we're going to add to it as Republicans? That is unacceptable.
You'll never guess who accepted it.
Senator Ron Johnson flipped from a no to a yes.
Sorry, children and grandchildren. Maybe next future. Any other Republican who initially said, "This is terrible, I'm not voting for this," and had an even dumber reason for flipping to yes? Tim Burchett from Tennessee. I'm looking at your dumb ass.
The president was wonderful, as always, informative, funny. Told me he liked seeing me on TV, which is kind of cool. Yeah, he signed a bunch of stuff. It's cool.
What, was it cool? He signed a bunch of stuff for you? It was cool. Was that your class's first trip to Washington? He gave us M&Ms. I'll vote whatever he want me to vote for. He signed my tits. Whatever you want, I'll do it. By the way, nothing makes me distrust Donald Trump more than saying that guy is good on TV. It's all pro wrestling. The only difference between that vote and wrestling is that wrestling is fun and takes actual courage. And they didn't even get concessions to flip their vote. Only one senator apparently got meaningful concessions, and that's Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. And those concessions really wouldn't work anywhere else but Alaska.
Senator Paul said that that your vote was a bailout for Alaska at the expense of the rest of the country.
Oh, my God.
That's what Senator Paul said.
This one was easy. Senator, we've got the...
I didn't say it, ma'am. I'm just asking for your response.
That's my favorite clip ever. She stares him down, and the reporter goes, I didn't say it. Yeah, I didn't. I don't know. I'm just, look, I don't even like this. Look, I wanted to work in the control room, but I'm handsome. So they put me out here because they didn't want this moneymaker to go to waste. But excluding all the fake narrative shenanigans and hypocrisies and fecklessness is the central truth of this bill. Once again, it's the bullshit gospel of austerity. The gospel they preach anytime the country's finances are in shambles and out of control. Our problem isn't excess at the top, it's the sloth at the bottom.
We don't pay people in this country to be lazy.
Yeah. If somebody's able-bodied and they can go get a job and they're living in their mom's basement playing video games, I'm sorry, you got to go get a job.
Get off the couch, stop eating the Cheetos, stop buying the medical marijuana and watching television.
First of all, nobody talks about my audience like that. Nobody. Yeah! You hear those f***ing Cheetos, man? Second of all, it is such a f***ing lazy and wrong trope. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but those people smoking dope, sitting around playing video games, they're all f***ing Twitch millionaires now. And it's this lazy bullshit narrative that our finances are screwed because of how comfortable we have made it for the poor. A mindset perhaps perfectly encapsulated by this human editorial cartoon, Congressman Troy Nehls.
Can I ask you, though, about the CBO score and the idea that 11 million, 12 million Americans may lose health insurance?
I don't have any faith and confidence in the CBO. They're scoring. They're wrong half the damn time. I don't give any... No.
A congressman who just voted to force people off of Medicaid and food assistance. Just smoking a fatty with both hands bandaged. From what I can only assume is a friction burn from too much celebratory masturbation. There's no other way around it. Oh. Medicaid and food stamps. I got blisters on me fingers. The problem in our country isn't the sliver of able-bodied people that are somehow coasting on the unearned medical coverage they may or may not use, but the millions and millions of people in this country who work f***ing full-time jobs and still need food and medical assistance. That's the system that's broken. Fix that system. What are we talking about? And yet, we're always gaslit into the framework of the deserving poor. And I got to tell you, the deserving poor, they have very much disappointed the deserving rich.
OpenAI founder Sam Altman said he was politically homeless in the July 4th message he posted to X.
Excuse me, not to be that guy. I believe the term is politically unhoused. But go on. How have the Democrats let you down?
I'd rather hear from candidates about how they are going to make everyone have the stuff billionaires have instead of how they are going to eliminate billionaires.
That's the pitch. Everyone should be. Wouldn't we all just run out of foam? Wouldn't that? I wasn't invited. But that's the pitch. Somehow it is fiscally irresponsible to build a stronger floor for everyone to stand on if it may in any way lower the already astronomical ceiling height experienced by the rare few. This bill is the most f***ed up performance review our country could ever deliver. It's the government sitting us all down and telling us where we've been irresponsible with the spending. We start with the wealthy. Thank you for coming in. I know it's hard when you only work one day a week, but thank you for making the time. It's been a tough year, but as always, wealthy, you're killing it. In the words of a place you probably never eat at, we're loving it. And so once again, for the, I'm going to say 80th year in a row, you're getting a raise. Now, if you excuse me, I have a busy day, another review to deliver. You freeloading motherfuckers. It has come to my attention that some of you are having breakfast and lunch. Maybe you haven't heard our deficit is out of control. We need that lunch money for more important things, which reminds me. What if I gave you a tax deduction for taking a private jet to your private jet? If time permits, perhaps we could take it to that non-existent island I've heard so much about. Excuse me? Who ate the porridge that was here? Who ate the porridge? You, boy! What day is it, boy? Christmas Day? Take this doubloon, buy the biggest Christmas goose you can find, and take it to the heliport. I have a pilot. Look. Blaming migrants and the able-bodied poor is why Trump won this election. But a system where working people struggle so much is why Mamdani won his election. And for all the people who are worried about Mamdani's socialist tendencies, guess what? He's the best case scenario, because this system is not sustainable. And if this doesn't change, there's going to be more drastic action. Really? Yeah. We're going to need a bigger pot.